Yo, yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another stream. Good to see you in. Who we got in today, man? We got in Christopher, yes. We got Lino, Messi, Cremo, Walrus, yes. Carson the GOAT, Sam Martin. How you all doing, man? We got Nam in there as well, yes. Good to see you. Well. Bit of a debate going on social media today, isn't there? People arguing with each other. It wouldn't be a normal day without people arguing with each other on social media about when players should return, when they shouldn't return, whether certain players should come back sooner than others. Huge debate going on social media right now. People arguing with each other. I mean, it's not really necessary, to be honest with you guys, you know what I mean? But we're going to get into it. We're going to have that honest conversation about whether or not we're happy with the players coming back, certain times, etc. We'll get into all that. But before we do, make sure you drop a like on the stream, man. We've got 97 people in the stream right now, just gone over 100. Yes, hopefully you guys are all doing well. Please make sure you drop that thumbs up button for us. Get the likes past 100, man. We're currently on 73. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well if you are new. If you want to help support the channel, you can become an Xtra Club channel member. Link in the description. Get yourself a badge in the chat and just help support the channel grow, man. We super appreciate everyone that is a channel member. And also go download the One Football app. Link is in the description. Pinned comment there as well. Get all your in-game stats tomorrow, in-game commentary, much more completely for free on the One Football app. If you download the app, you help support the channel completely for free. So do us a massive solid. Right, press conference reaction. We're going to go through all of Pep Guardiola's comments, see what he's been saying, and then we'll have a conversation about the players returning, and you can all let us know what you think about that. Obviously, all the quotes are on, if you want to watch the video, go over to City's website or YouTube channel. If you've not got time for that, quotes are on City Extra Twitter account. So obviously Pep Guardiola facing the media ahead of tomorrow's game against Liverpool. Obviously a massive game, Carabao Cup season. Did the opposition preview before with AGT from Don Robbie Sports and Cop TV. So if you've not already watched that, I recommend going watching that. And we've done two. We've done one on his channel, one on ours. So go watch it. But yeah, let's just dive straight into it then. Let's not waste no time. Pep Guardiola, obviously the first couple of questions were about the man, Julian Alvarez. Pep Guardiola said, we're incredibly happy for Alvarez. Congratulations to him and Otamendi, and personally to Lionel Messi. To Argentina, well deserved. We are delighted for Julian. He played a lot. His contribution was amazing. We have a World Cup champion in our team. He said he's going to have a week off, maybe 10 days. He's had many games, lots of tension. He'll have a break. Maybe before the new year, he will be back. My personal opinion on this is I just don't even think we should ask him to come back now until after New Year. I don't see the point, really. So yeah, I'd be asking him to come back for the 2nd of January. That's the date that I would personally give him. He's won the World Cup. He'll be sessioning hard. He'll be partying. Loads of late nights. Probably won't be doing too much training. I just think let him enjoy it. You know what I mean? Let him enjoy the occasion. He's won the World Cup as a 22-year-old. That's incredible. Let him enjoy it. Get him back on the 2nd of January. Let's go again. That's my personal opinion. You guys can disagree with that. Obviously, Pep's saying he might be back before New Year. Might not be. Well, if he's back before New Year, it's going to be Everton, right? But we play Everton on the 31st. So realistically, for him to be able to play in that game, he's going to have to come back on the 28th, 27th. It's not going to happen. So what's the point? Bring him back on the 2nd. That's my opinion. Get him ready for the Chelsea game in January. But obviously, yeah, massive congratulations to Alvarez. Huge dub there. Pep Guardiola said Argentina would win the World Cup. So did I. So I have the same knowledge as Guardiola. That's clearly how that works. But yeah, let us know what you think in the chat about that. Max OJ says 2nd of January is plenty of time. It is. And to be honest, it might be a little bit overkill. It probably is. It's probably a little bit too long. But he's won the World Cup, man. And it's not like we're going to be desperate for him. No, we've got a couple of games before then. So I'd give him the 2nd, man. I think that's a fair time for him. Pep Guardiola says everyone has their opinion, but no one can doubt Lionel Messi. He is the greatest of all time. For me, he's the best. Difficult to understand a player can compete with what he's done. The people saw Pele or Di Stefano or Maradona. These opinions are sentimental, but the other side, if he wouldn't have won the World Cup, the opinion and my opinion wouldn't have changed. It's normal that people depends on what you win or you're evaluated. The final cherries of an incredible career. Obviously asking about Lionel Messi, whether or not he's the greatest player of all time. My personal opinion is he is the greatest player of all time. I don't think he needed to win the World Cup for him to be classed the greatest player of all time. I think he was the greatest player of all time before that, in my view. But this, for me, seals it. And I think the way he played across the 90 minutes, Lionel Messi, I just think that, he was so good. Throughout the whole game, he was so good. And those people that have seen him live, I think it's one of them that you'll cherish those moments, man. Well, you should do anyway. Loads of different random questions today. Normally it's about Haaland, isn't it? But we've actually got loads of different questions and statements. Make sure you keep smashing the like button for us, guys. 7 likes away from 100 likes. Pep Guardiola on Manchester City and Liverpool improving relationships. Of course, there has been a lot of tension over the last years when City have played Liverpool. You've had fan clashes. You've had a lot of player clashes. And to be honest, it's not been very nice. To be honest with you, obviously for me. It all kind of started, didn't it, when Liverpool fucking whacked our bus bare, ridiculous. But it needs to improve. It does need to improve. Pep Guardiola said, be supportive, support your team unconditionally. This country is the best example. Enjoy the games with incredible players on both sides. Always has been this way. This is just a thing, It's about mutual respect, innit? But at the end of the day, there's always probably going to be one idiot who does something, and then that'll tarnish it for the rest, so... I hope the fans are on the best behaviour, because you don't want either club to be associated with bad rep and bad negativity and all that kind of stuff. But ultimately, there's probably always going to be a couple, isn't there? That's just how it is. And I think the managers need to chill out as well. The managers don't help themselves in press conferences, riling each other up, which obviously riles the fans up. So I think there's a lot of learning experiences for me that need to come from that. He was then asked about his new contract, of course. Pep Guardiola signing a new contract. It feels like we kind of just brushed across that because obviously we were doing all the World Cup content at the time. Pep Guardiola says, thank you so much for the confidence in me. It will be difficult to repay the board what they show me and the confidence they have in me. It's difficult to reject how they want me to continue. They want us to do our best. I don't have enough words to express my gratitude for the club, Khaldoon, Varane, everybody here. So, clearly Pep Guardiola absolutely buzzing with his new contract, and rightly so. I'm buzzing for him as well. I'm pure happy that he signed a new deal. Obviously, Luis Enrique now is not in a job, so had Pep Guardiola come out and said, nah, you know what, I'm getting off at the end of the season, I think I would have moved for Enrique. But Pep Guardiola signing that new contract, clearly it's just really good news. Yes, Lionel Messi is the greatest player of all time with a super chat. Yes, with a 449. Thanks a lot for the donation, bro. Says Messi with a World Cup, loads of love art emojis, and Ronaldo without a World Cup. Well, that's what separates them now, innit? Let's be honest. That's the only thing that separates the two players, the World Cup, and Messi's got it. So yeah, huge dubs there for Lionel Messi. Pep Guardiola was asked about the Champions League, and how much does City want to win this trophy. He said, I admit that's the trophy we want. It wouldn't be complete, my period here, if we don't win it. It's not the only reason I extended my contract. I have the feeling this club sooner or later will get it. We've tried in the past. The first season we tried with all our strength and power. Of course we will try. It's a matter of time before we win this competition, guys. I keep saying, play the odds game on this one. We keep getting to semi-finals. We keep getting to the deep stages of this competition. At some point, we will win this trophy. We will win it at some point. That's, Pep said it. I'm saying it. I promise you. We'll win it. When? I don't know. Hopefully soon. But we just got to keep going, keep applying ourselves in the games, learn from our mistakes, and hopefully, in the not too distant future, we will finally get our hands on that Champions League, and then people can stop holding it over us. Because at the moment, that's all they've got. When you speak to an opposition fan and they're trying the banter game, all they give you is, worry UCL for Man City. And they're right, worry UCL for Man City. We ain't got one in it. You know what I mean? As soon as we get it, done. Conversation over. So we need to get our hands on it, man. But we need to learn from our mistakes. Pep needs to learn from his mistakes. The players need to learn from their mistakes. If you look at it last year, if you look at the game at the Bernabeu, I think Pep made mistakes. The mistakes for me, I don't think he should have. I think he should have put on another centre back for the last couple of minutes just to see it out. We had 2 goal cushion. I think he should have put on another centre back just to help out. I forget who he took off now. I think he might have took off Mahrez or Kev. He took one of them off. bad mistake. Then players can hold possession. As soon as you take off ball possession players, you don't have possession, and then we just allowed it to come at us. And obviously the players need to just learn from the mistakes as well. The players need to learn to be more comfortable in those pressure moments. So I just think everyone at the club needs to learn, and hopefully that's what will happen. And then the big one. What's got everybody talking on social media today? I want your opinion on this because everyone's been having their say on Twitter today. And people have been arguing with each other. It's about the players returning, okay? Pep Guardiola said, step by step, people come back. Today, we've had 6 back. We are happy they are back in, and in general play, they've done really well. A unique experience. We let them try and come back as soon as possible, work for the team, and maybe 4 years they live to go to another World Cup. He said the players in the World Cup are in better condition than those that were here. Sergio, obviously talking about Gomez there, not Aguero, Erling Haaland and Riaz, they've missed it a little bit. And this is something that I have mentioned, just because the players have not been at the World Cup, yes, they're going to be fresh, but they're not going to be match fit. And I'd rather have a match fit player than a fresh player. So that'll be interesting to see. And he's obviously mentioning that as well. And then we've had confirmation that another 8 players have been back today in training, with the club's English players expected to be part of the latest players to return this afternoon. Now, this is where it's got people a little bit upset and a little bit annoyed, and this is where the arguments have been had on social media, because obviously you've seen, for example, other players return for clubs. You've seen Alisson return to Liverpool a couple of days ago. You've seen Kylian Mbappe, who played the final on Sunday or Saturday, whatever it was, and he's already back in PSG training. And you've got some City fans saying, look, why are these players not coming back sooner? And this is where the arguments are being had. So I want to hear your opinions in the chat. And I've done a poll there as well. Are you a little bit frustrated that the players haven't come back sooner? Of course, you could argue that this is the club's instructions. So the clubs the Manchester City have said to the players, come back on this date. So if they're coming back on this date, are they really to be blamed for not coming back sooner? I want to have your opinion on this one, because it's got a lot of people talking on Twitter today, and it's been quite a passionate debate. Honestly, I was out before, come back, logged on Twitter, had a look, and I thought, bloody hell, it's going off there today. So let us know your thoughts in the chat there. Let's have a look. So Walrus says players come back when the club want them to. No big deal. Cool. JR says I need a mental break from the World Cup. They probably need it more. Let them chill out. Matthew says to keep them happy before the busy schedule. Mad Hatter says if the club's instructed them to come back, then it's fine. I don't see. Then yes. Oh yeah, it's fine. If not, then I see this as a problematic. Yes. Sam Martin said I think the English and the Portuguese boys should have been back at least 2 days ago. Yeah, I see. I've seen Stephen's back in the decision. Fair. Louise says they probably do need a break. Grealish, Phillips and Ederson should have been recalled sooner. Okay, so you're basically, Scotty, you're saying it should be on an individual case-by-case basis rather than just England, you got knocked out on that day, all England players should be back on this day. You're taking a more individual approach by saying you didn't play that much minutes or any minutes, you should come back sooner. Fairs, okay. So yeah, that's fair. So that Doper saying there's no reason why Ederson shouldn't have come back sooner. Everyone should be back apart from Alvarez. Zetinus says many of those players haven't played too much in the World Cup. And most of them need to be here. Okay, so my opinion on this is, okay, one, first of all, you can't really slag the players off if the club have said, come back on this date. I kind of understand why people might be saying, yeah, but the players should have the desire to come back sooner because we've got a big game against Liverpool. I understand that point of view. But ultimately, if the club have said, no, don't come back until this date, then they don't come back until this date. However, I personally would agree with a few people in the chat in that I would have rather have seen a more individual player-by-player approach. So, for example, Calvin Phillips, I think, should have been back sooner. Ederson's a bit of a weird one because Ederson was never going to play in this game against Liverpool anyway, in my opinion. So there wouldn't have been too much point, in my view, getting Ederson back any sooner than he has already come back because he's not going to play against Liverpool anyway. So, look, it's a bit of a weird one. The only one for me is I do think that Phillips should have been back sooner. I do. But other than that, I kind of understand it. If the club have said that's when they want him back, that's when the club want him back. And there's not really much else you can say about that. Why is Grealish in New York eating pizza? What was that? His fitness advice? Yeah, I mean, clearly that's what the medical staff have said, isn't it? You know what I mean? Take a couple of days off, go slam some pizzas. That's a funny comment, man. Yeah, that Grealish picture has rattled everyone. What you got to understand about Grealish as well, Grealish has his haters at City anyway. There's a lot of City fans that don't rate Grealish, so they're going to take every possible availability to do him. If they think that he's done something or not done something and they think he can roast him, they're going to jump on him because they don't like him in the first place. You know, and to be fair, people say Grealish hasn't played that much football, but, you know, he did come on in a few games in the World Cup. He's played, I think he was on like 9th most played player this season so far. So he's had quite a lot of minutes this season already. For me, like I say, the only one for me that I would have liked to have seen back a little bit sooner is Calvin Phillips. That's the only one really. You know, he's had 3 months off where he's just been rehabilitation, you know, with his shoulder injury, and he's not played any minutes at the World Cup. And I just think he's the one where I don't really get it. I don't really get why he's had 10 days, 2 weeks off, whatever it is. But it is what it is. Matthew W says it should have been, if you played more than X minutes, you come back at this date, and if you played less, come back at this date. Yeah, I feel like that's... So basically, more of an individual basis. More of an individual... It seems like City have just thrown a blanket thing on it and said, if you got knocked out on this date, come back on this date, where... I agree, I do think it should have been more of an individual basis. So yeah. Yes, Dopa with a $10 donation. Yes, bro. Thanks a lot for the donation, bro. Says the thing is, if City gets slammed tomorrow night, who is to blame? The players, the ones who haven't come back yet, or Pep for using what players he has fit, or the Premier League for the fixture schedule, or the medical staff, whoever's signed off. Someone must have said, this is how much the players need. You know? So, I don't know, it's a really weird one. Luckily, we should still be able to put out a decent team tomorrow, I mean, if you look at the starting 11, it's going to be probably Ortega, Rico Lewis, Akanji, Ake, maybe Laporte, Sergio Gomez. Rodri's probably going to play. He's been in training, 2 to 3 days. Gundogan, Kev, Mahrez, Haaland, and Cole Palmer. That's probably going to be the starting 11, which is decent starting 11, right? But... I see both points. I do, and I'm not trying to sit on the fence. I'm genuinely not. Like I say, if I was sitting on the fence, I would have just said, yeah, I understand why. I do think Phillips should have been back earlier. So I'm not sitting on the fence, but I get both points. I do get both points. Scared for Rico versus Salah, says Scott Carson. It's not going to be Rico versus Salah, is it? It'll be Rico versus Jota, maybe. And it'll be Salah versus Gomez. Yes, Cundinho with a 179 says Walker and Phillips should have come back earliest. Maybe, yes, Phillips, as I already said. The Walker one I can understand. Take a little bit more time, be a bit more patient with Walker. I can understand that one, bro. To be fair, my opinion, I can understand that one. Ake will definitely be ready. He's been in training a couple of days, so Ake should be ready. I think Ake should start. Gomez going to get dusted tomorrow. I mean, Gomez, he's obviously highly likely to play unless he plays Ake left back. It's going to probably be the test of his life. You know, he's playing against Salah, who ended the season before the World Cup break in extremely good form, scoring 6 goals in the Champions League in 4 games in a row. He scored about 4 or 5 goals in the Premier League in the space of about 3 games. He's in good form. Will he still be in good form tomorrow night? Who knows? What will Gomez be like? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. He's going to get spun, says Kevin De Bruyne. I don't know, man. I think you have to obviously back him. Clearly, Gomez is. If you have to look at his. You look at his cons, defending is one of the cons, and he's coming up against Mo Salah. That looks like it could be tricky. But ultimately, you know, if he wants to be a Manchester City player going forward, he'll have to come up. He'll have to deal with this. He'll have to deal with it somehow. And that doesn't mean he has to pocket Salah, but he has to make sure that he has a semi-decent game. What else are you guys saying in the chat? Gomez has a lot to prove. This could be the game for that. He does have a lot to prove. He does. I agree. I still think there's a load of doubts over Gomez, and rightly so, because defensively, I don't think he's had a very good time. Some people may be asking about Kevin De Bruyne. How is he going to be feeling after the World Cup? Well, we've had an insight from Rico Lewis, who's been speaking, and he was asked about Kevin De Bruyne and how's Kevin De Bruyne been since he's come back from the World Cup, and Rico Lewis said, Kevin's been fine in the changing room and with everyone. I don't think he's let it affect him. You can see from the game against Girona that he's played really well. He's been happy and he's been smiling just like normal. So it seems to me, based on the performance that Kevin De Bruyne put in against Girona, which I thought was very good, and the comments there from Rico Lewis, that Kev's going to be up for this game. I actually thought, and I've said this quite a lot of times, but I want to say it again, I actually thought Kevin looked really sharp against Girona, like proper. Do you know what I mean? Like, we've said, didn't we? We said that Kevin always takes a while to get into the swing of things, right? And even though he's already had a great start to the season in terms of numbers, he obviously went into the World Cup, played some games there. Is he at the point now where he's just match fit? He's fully match fit? Because I thought he looked really sharp against Girona, really quick on the ball, and just, you know, looked like top class Kev. So we'll have to see. I think it'll be interesting to see how Kevin plays tomorrow. Kevin is the best in Prem midfielders. Yeah, probably is. Probably is. When have we seen Kev this slim? Maybe 17, 18. You know what's funny, right? Is someone said to me the other day in the chat, it might have been you, bro, I can't remember who said it, her madness. Someone said, oh, did you think Kevin looked a little bit slimmer? I was like, you know what, genuinely, I don't even know, man. I don't even know. I didn't really look at, you know, his body percentage, body fat percentage, to be honest with you guys. I did think he looked sharper. Whether he's a little bit slimmer, I don't know. It wasn't something that I looked at. But there was a couple of people said that, so maybe it is true. Cundinho Yesha with another super chat says, we need a full-back overhaul. They can all get spun. Walker can't get spun, bro. Walker's not a spinner. Walker's a solid guy. I do think that we should be looking at a full-back, though. I think that unless Gomez shows me that he's able to defend, I just don't see a future for him here, because he just stinks of Angelino, and I just don't think that Pep's going to accept it, because he just doesn't look like he's good enough defensively. Which, by the way, is not like a dig on him. At the end of the day, he was only turned into a left back a few years ago, wasn't he? And people might say, well, Zinchenko wasn't a left back and he done well. That's because Zinchenko is fucking mint. Like, I don't think a lot of people still realise what we had with Zinchenko. And I don't think people now realise what we had with Zinchenko. I still think people are like, oh yeah, like, he was decent, but it is what it is. Zinchenko was a top-class football player. Top class. And we let him go when we shouldn't, really. And I just feel that with Gomez, especially because we only paid, 10 mil? I just feel that if there's someone available in the market in the summer, which City will probably... At the end of the day, the way I say this is because there's no way City have gone from, let's get Cucurella, we need to bid 40 million for Cucurella, which is believably what City were willing to go up to just go in, oh, you know what, it's fine, we'll just get Gomez at 10 mil, and then just leave it. I don't believe that City would do that, so I think that Gomez is highly likely to be loaned out in the summer or sold, and we will get another left back. That's because otherwise I just don't really understand, why didn't you just go for Gomez in the first place? Why was you willing to spend 40 million on Cucurella if you was going to be happy with Gomez? And when we signed Gomez, it came out with very, very good sources. Who was it? It was that source from London. He was on the overlap with Gary Neville sometimes as a journalist, David Ornstein. Even he said Gomez is being signed as like, I don't even know how he worded it, but basically he said like, nah, like we're signing him, but we want another player. Let's have a look. What else you guys say? Yeah, a lot of praise in the chat there for Zinchenko, rightly so. Zinny is intelligent. He is intelligent. Also, as well, I think with Zinchenko, because of the way he played, because he wasn't bombing up and down the wing that much, he was positionally in a better position than Gomez is. And this isn't really a dig at Gomez again, because if Gomez is playing, you want Gomez to go forward, right? Because otherwise, why are you playing Gomez? Because it makes no... You're not going to play Gomez and say, listen, lad, I need you to stay in the left-back position and defend for your life. You might as well play Ake if you're going to do that. You play Gomez because you want him to go forward and make things happen. With Zinchenko, we didn't really do that. So Zinchenko was mainly in a better position for the defending than Gomez, because Gomez gets caught up top, gets caught out of position. And you remember when we signed him and we read the scout report says he's very good, however, he gets caught out of position because he goes forward so much. Zinchenko didn't really do that, so Zinchenko was mainly in a better position and therefore didn't look as bad defensively. Luis Suarez, Pep said ahead of the game. He's not actually said too much ahead of the actual match, to be honest with you, bro. More comments will come out tonight at 10:30, so make sure you're following City Extra for the comments. But the only thing he's really said about Liverpool is he's just told the fans not to be dicks. That's it. He's not really said anything else at this moment in time. We will hear more tonight when we get to the embargo section of the press conference and the later comments come out. But at the moment, he's not really said too much. It's all been about World Cup questions, which you can kind of understand why that would be the case. You can kind of understand why that would be the case. Should have got Theo Hernandez when we had the chance. I think a defender. We probably should have signed a proper left back. Well, let's see how Gomez gets on anyway tonight, man. Let's see how we get on to tomorrow night. Jack Field said, I think Gomez had driven cross suits Haaland better than Zinchenko's crossing. I would agree with that. I think Gomez going forward is brilliant. He's brilliant going forward. His crosses into the box is great. His ball control's great. His technical ability is great. And his crossing, them low-driven crosses, I think, Jack, you're spot on, mate. I think them low-driven crosses, I love them. You know, I think if you can find a way to get Haaland and Alvarez in there to increase the odds of someone getting on the end of it, boom. But you do have to be able to defend. You do have to be able to defend, and I'm not seeing much defensively. I'm not saying you can't tackle. I'm not saying you can't make a tackle. I'm saying positioning. And again, that comes from years and years and years as playing as a defender and learning where to be. He's not been there years and years. So I'm not digging him out. I'm not slagging him off. I'm just saying, like, when you're playing elite level football, which you are at Manchester City, you know, and you're playing against elite teams, which you are in the Premier League and the Champions League, if you've only played left back for 3 or 4 years, you're probably going to struggle. You know, not being harsh, that's just the true facts, isn't it? I mean, let's be honest. If he came in and smashed it, everyone would kind of be like, right, that's a bit mad. You know what I mean? Guy was only playing left back for 2 or 3 years and then has come from the Belgium league to the Premier League and slammed it. I mean, you'd probably be shocked, to be honest. What about Wilson Esbrand? I think he's better defender on the wing. Well, I said this at the time. The signing of Gomez has completely halted the development of Wilson Esbrand. I'm pretty sure that you would have seen Wilson Esbrand get probably the same amount of minutes or similar amount of minutes as Rico Lewis this season if we hadn't signed Gomez. The signed Gomez halted the minutes of Wilson Esbrand. So, yeah, unfortunately, that's where we're at with that. Joseph Lee coming in with a 5. Yes, LB, what if we had a Christmas wish list stream for transfers? Thanks for the stream, as always. A Christmas wish list stream for transfers. Yeah, I mean, we probably will do some transfer content. I mean, it is January coming up, isn't it? So, window is open. So, yeah, I mean, we probably will have a look at maybe what we need. Should we go into the market? For sure, bro, for sure. Sam Martin said, I think Gomez is very good with the ball, but without, he's a bit suspect. Yeah, but again, it's just because of his career. It's not a dig on him. Like, it's because of the way that he's been developed. He's been playing attacking midfielder since he was a kid up until about 3 years ago or whatever, and then he gets changed to a left back. So it's I just want people to understand it's not that we're being harsh or that we're being ultra critical. It's just the reality is that very, very few people in the world will be able to come into the Premier League and the Champions League and play in a position that they've only played in for 3 years and look good. You know what I mean? If you ask Messi to play left back, Would Messi do a job at left back? Defensively? Probably not. I mean, people are not going to, it's the same thing, you know what I'm saying? See what you guys are saying. LB, a lot of Saka news has come out. What, more news on Saka? Or just the news that we already had on Saka? Because we obviously already knew about City's interest in Saka. Me personally, I still believe that Saka is going to sign a new deal at Arsenal. And I don't necessarily want him at City anyway. I'm not seeing anything at the moment, Bray. I'm not seeing nothing on Saka there, bro, to be honest with you. Grimaldo in. Yeah, but is Grimaldo good enough defensively, man? Is Grimaldo good enough defensively is the question. I'm still waiting to give Gomez the chance until the end of the season, says Zetinist. Well, the fact is, for me, we're unlikely to sign a left-back in January anyway. So by default, the guy has until the summer anyway. Because I don't think that we're going to sign a left back in January. In the summer, though, I'm pretty confident I'm pretty confident we'll attempt to sign a left back. Whether we'll actually get it over the line, I have absolutely no idea. Keep your comments coming in, guys. Make sure you drop a like on the stream. I've got nearly 300 people in here right now. Let's get those likes past 175. 20 people. Hit that thumbs up button. Just helps grow the channel. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well if you've not done so already. Massive shout out to today's video sponsor, the guys at One Football. If you've not already done so, make sure you hit the link in the description and pin comment. One Football, completely free app to download. If you want your in-game stats completely for free during the game, then One Football's the place to be. Download it on your phone. When the game's being played, just click on the game, go to stats, you get all the in-game stats, mate. Loads, it's absolutely mad. In-game commentary and much, much more. If you download it, you help support the channel as well. Lionel Messi, yes, with a 175, says, I did all my Christmas shopping 2 weeks early. Go on, lad. Go on, lad. Whoa, what a guy. Getting his Christmas shopping in 2 weeks early. That's good, bro. That's good. I still feel like we haven't seen enough of Gomez. That red card in Champs ruined his rep with City fans. Yeah, it probably did. What else you guys saying? Borna Sosa, says her madness. I'm really, really torn on Borna Sosa. I'm really torn on him. Pros, I think going forward he looks very, very good. On the ball he looks very, very good. I think defensively he's probably better than Gomez. But I just think that he's like a... I just think it's a half measure. Does that make sense? I feel like there's so much better than Borna Sosa out there. I'm not saying that he's not good enough, and I think he'd be okay for City. I think he'd do a job, but I just think if you're going to spend 20 million on Borna Sosa, or 25 million, or 30 million, or whatever it's going to cost to get him, why not just spend an extra 10 or an extra 15 and get a proper sick left back in? Do you understand what I mean? That's what I do like him. I do like Sosa, but I just feel like. I feel like if we got him and he'd drop a clanger in a game and I'd just be like, why did we sign him? Why didn't we just sign someone proper? Alfonso Davies, well. Alfonso Davies, player for Bayern Munich, right? Contracted until 2025. So in the summer, he's only going to have 2 years left on his contract with Bayern Munich. He's recently just done an interview in which he was asked whether he'd like to join La Liga team or Premier League team. And he said Premier League. He said he'd rather be in the Premier League than La Liga. Now, we've long said that it would be difficult to get Alfonso Davies from Bayern Munich. However, he does only have 2 years left on his contract. Would you be willing? I mean, the question is, how much is it going to cost to get him out there? Transfermarkt's got an estimated value of 70 million euros. Ferland Mendy's class, but I don't think you'll be able to get him out of Real Madrid because they like him there, don't they? Cheeky £60 million bid for Alfonso Davies. I mean, at the end of the day, come the summer, if he's still not signing a new contract, he's only got 2 years left on his contract. I mean, how much would you have to spend to get him out? 2 years, left back. I reckon 65. maybe 70 million. But then the question is, what do you do with Walker and Cancelo? You know, I don't know. 130 mil. Well, you're not going to pay 130 mil for a left back, are you? So if that's the case, then forget about it. Then completely forget about it. Walker is done. I don't know what Walker's done, man. I'm not fully saying he's done yet. And I don't think there's any point in selling Walker, Bellingham, Jude Bellingham. I don't think there's any point in selling Walker because what value are we going to get from him now? What is he, 32, 33? I don't see the point. I just keep him. Good experience around the dressing room. Nah, I don't see the point now. Very injury prone, which doesn't help with Walker and his constant injuries. But if you had Davies, Cancelo and Walker, and you've got Rico Lewis coming through, and you've still got Gomez, would that not be okay? Would that not be strong enough? Surely that's strong enough. Dumfries, I'm not sold on Dumfries, man. Tyler, I know he had a sick game, didn't he? I know he had a sick game, but I'm just not sold on the guy. I just look at him and sometimes I'm like, nah, not for me, man. Not for me. Kevin De Bruyne, don't think Rico Lewis will make it. It's a bit harsh, man. Harsh, bro. Harsh guy, bro. Right, cool. I'm going to wrap it up there. Preview tonight, live. Get involved in it. Make sure you join me tonight for the main preview. We'll go through the full starting 11s of both sides. We'll work out tactics and all that kind of stuff. And we'll just have a random chat fully about the game. Maybe we'll get some more news as well about maybe some leaks about the, who's maybe going to start and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully you guys can join me tonight. Guys, do us a favour, man. Download the OneFootball app. Link is in the description right there. Go check it out. Hopefully you guys can download it for us. It's completely free. Help support the channel. And it's genuinely just a sick app. When you get it, like, you get all the in-game stats, all the in-game commentary. You can vote on stuff like player of the match, who you think is going to win the game. All completely interactive. It's all free. City Extra articles are going up on there as well soon. So, if you like our articles for our writers, another reason to download it. Shout out to everyone. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Enjoy the rest of your day. Join me later on tonight for the main driller. And I'll see you in the next one. See you in a bit. Yo, just rapid, yeah. Chat, just rapid. Did I have the tunes on the whole time? Did I have the tunes on the whole time and you guys were just chilling with it? You guys were just vibing. As if people just like the tune that much and no one even said turn the tunes off. Normally you guys would be like, boom, get these tunes off. Yes, Lionel Messi, come on Burnley and company, yeah man. Hopefully company can do a job tonight. Right, peace out. I just literally wanted to come back, man, because I was like, what? You guys are crazy. See you in a bit.